Hello, everyone. Like Michelle said, my name is Anika Teray. I am with Engineering Services Contract Coordinator. We're going to talk about engineering services, architect, and engineering and construction prime contracts. Okay, and so what we have here going is that this lists the classifications of the pre-qualifications we ask our architectural and engineering contractors to possess. In construction, as you see, we have class A, B, C, D, E, and S. And I want to apologize. I meant to have some slides back there to pass out that will go into further details, but this is listed on the City of Tulsa's website to give you more information about what each classification previously stands for. I'll give you a little bit that I can tell you about. A is going to classify you to do all general construction amongst the umbrella. B is building, as it says. C is paving, bridge, some sidewalk work. That's about it. D is the utility stuff, and S is our specialty, which is like our playground jobs, our swimming pool jobs, and certain city, the PAC, certain things like that. The range of the projects, as you see, with architect and engineer, the contracts can be greater than $50,000. The construction contracts average a value of $2.6 million. And the contracts that we try to put out per quarter, it says approximately, but that's a give or take, about 20. The current engineering construction emphasis right now is transportation. We are in a part of the term or time where we need to get a lot of transportation projects, so we're focusing mostly right now on a lot of roadway jobs. I guess that's just the way the plan has been set out based off the budget and everything. So you must be authorized through a certificate of authorization to participate as an architect or engineer in the state of Oklahoma. You also must be licensed to practice in the state of Oklahoma. So how it works here is that you must register to receive the letter of interest and the statements of qualifications through the TUL 9280 form. That is the link where you can get that form. LaKendra is going to be passing out some documents that you can read over at your time about the TUL 9280. This gets you registered to be on the list where we solicit out when it's time to go for any projects out there. And the information here is who you submit that TUL 9280 form to. This is no fee required, and this must be renewed annually as it says there. And that's just a picture of it. Like I said, you have the handout. Go to the next one. So once you have registered on the TUL 9280, then we send out the notification. And within that notification, it's up to you to supply your LOI, letter of interest, and your statement of qualifications. And this is just an example of what that looks like there. Can you guys see that okay? Okay. We have a committee called the Professional Consulting Services Selection Committee that reviews these documents. They are scored based upon the criteria of what is asked for this particular, asked from the particular contractor who says, or or engineer who says they can do a certain amount of work, what type of work. This is reviewed, and this is recommended to the mayor for approval or our TMUA board for approval to select you as the engineer for the project. And then once once you are selected, then we go into what's called the design contract. And that design contract talks about the scope of the work, that we ask for a schedule of your work. This is given to our legal department to go over to make sure you have basically crossed all your T's, dotted your I's within this agreement that you made with the City of Tulsa. They approve it, and this agreement, which is a design agreement based on the project you want to do, is executed by the mayor. This is just the beginning step that's going to take you all the way to the end. We'll talk about construction contract. This is the beginning. The invoicing on these type of agreements, so it says it's based upon a proposal. That portion right there is pertaining to our construction contracts. Where we base invoicing on the architect engineering side is basically typically a monthly type of invoice, and it's based off of the schedule, not materials building. We're mixing up the verbiages with both contracts. It's all good. It's all good. So anyway, this requires, like it says here, backup timesheets and not yet receipts of material, but just the timesheets along with your certificate of insurance. The payment is submitted by the City of Tulsa within 30-45 days, and this is just a little overview here. So now we're going into being pre-qualified to attend the construction contract side. So you have to fall under that classification I mentioned earlier, the A, B, C, D, or S. Once you, well, let's get qualified first. So these are the pre-qualifications. The dollar amount between Class A and D, greater than $250,000. Class S will have to be greater than $600,000. Like I said, those are my specialty projects. This is the link that will take you there to the pre-qualification application, the checklist. This document is submitted to the city clerk. There's a fee here, and this must be renewed annually. If this isn't renewed annually, well, let me back up. The city clerk's office checks your pre-qualification based off your attendance of the pre-bids to see if you actually qualify before they accept your bid document package. I'll explain the document package later on. If you do not fit that qualification for the job, then they are not required to take your package. If you are not on that list, they will not take your package. You really have to keep up with your documentations and your records, so you'll be able to submit a good responsive bid. We had to knock someone out because they did not renew annually. This is a must to renew annually to go forward. Okay, so these are the requirements for the pre-qualification application that you must turn in: your financial statements, balance sheet, a statement of surety, bank release of credit history, name of insurers, list of current jobs, and equipment, and the OSHA Form 300A. I'm not going to go into too much detail with that because City Clerk Office handles that, and they'll be able to give you some factual information. I do have, though, the OSHA Form 300A. I did not know what that was, so I don't know how many people are familiar with that, but I have that handout to be passed out for you to review that if you're not for sure. And this is what the application looks like. Go forward. So once you have become qualified, then the next step is to look for bid notifications. Engineering services on the construction contracts, we send out our information through advertisement with Tulsa World and Oklahoma Eagle. The link there also this is a link also to where this information is put out on the city's website under construction bids. I keep that updated as often as I get the information of when I'm going to advertise. You can also come here to the north building to our plan room to pick up the specification book, which the project is about, and also the plans of the project that is up for bid. These are also some plan room holders that are out there in Tulsa that also hold our information. I'm not for sure which one, but some of these you actually have to be in membership with, but they just keep you abreast through an electronic mailing list on what is going on with the City of Tulsa's project. Copies of the books, like I said, and plans here at 23rd and Jackson is $50 for the book, a set of plans, and a flash drive which has your electronic proposal on there, any technical specifications, and let's see, that's about it that's on there. All three of those are $50. We accept cashier's check or a money order. We're not set up yet for credit card, nor do we take cash. So on the City of Tulsa's website, this is what it looks like under construction bids when we're notifying the public of projects that are out for bid. And we list we list in bold the project name. We talk about when the mandatory pre-bid is set for, the location of it. It is adamant that you arrive 10 minutes early or 10 minutes prior to the bid opening. Anything afterwards, you're not able to sign in, therefore you won't be able to bid on that particular project. We list the SBE, which is our small business enterprise utilization goal. of 10% that is mandatory. We also list underneath there the pre-qualifications for the job. Underneath there in blue, we have the hyperlinks to the electronic documents that are available for you also to solicit out to your subs so they can be enlightened on what's going on with the project. This is an example of the proposal. This is just the first introduction page. I believe the gentleman, Britt, what's his name? He had a good example of the proposal with the different line items. We bid off of quantities. There may be some deals that are one each, but for the most part, they're quantities of certain materials. This is adamant to turn in with your bid book that you would purchase. Without this, your bid is non-responsive. It doesn't matter anymore. But this must be turned in. And once you become part of the City of Tulsa as a contractor, we can go more into it on how to completely and thoroughly fill those out, because there are some items that is a must, or you would be deemed non-responsive by our legal department who reviews these books. So after the project is advertised, then, like I said before, you'll come to our plan room and pick up our information there. Contractors are required to solicit small business firms to participate, as I said, up 10%. The bids are open publicly and can be reviewed to be determined lowest responsible bidder. So the bids are open publicly. So I encourage you, if you know any small business representatives out there, please encourage them to come to these pre-bid meetings also to help enlighten them on what's going on with the project. So we do our bid opening. I assisted with Larry Hood downtown. Once we go over the numbers, then we turn in our information to our legal department. They do their review. It is determined by the lowest bidder that has the best responsive information. Awards are made typically within 30 days. Execution of contract, like I said, proceeds in coordination with our legal department reviewing the book. It goes further into detail, but I'm not going to cover all that, but this is the process here. Contracts with the primes are executed by the mayor. Then we're talking about going into the actual work of the job. So invoicing is based upon a bid schedule. So that's, this is our line items. I mentioned that will also look like this on the proposal. So we're asking, well, it's not asking, it's a must. A retainage of 5% is held by the city pending the final approval of the construction project. That 5% is a surety, a bond, I'm gonna say assurance, an insurance. So once everything is done, we then, well, hold on, I'm jumping the gun. Payment by the city to the prime. Okay, so when the construction starts, you're receiving partial payments, and I'm kind of treading in some uncharted waters here, but you'll get some partial payments on the field engineering side once construction starts, and I'm gonna leave that at that. And that's typically 30 to 45 days. Okay, so this is a summary. So we're going to start with registering on the design side, and this is the architect and engineering solicitations. That's the TUL 9280, and then we're going with the solicitation of the letter of intent and the statement of qualifications for services. And so this is also, like I said, based on qualifications. Then we go into the construction solicitations, which is me putting out the information for, I just lost my train of thought. We're putting out the information out there to be bid on, and then from there we're going to advertising, we're going into awarding, we're going into executing the contract, and that's about it right there. And that's it. Thank you all.